Matthew Sloan, candidate number 7174, centre number 71258. I'm going to start by talking about how our full task media product challenged or went with the codes and conventions of a supernatural thriller. I'm going to start off by talking about the location. In regards to the location, I believe we challenged the genre of supernatural thriller, as we went for a more urban, modern location, which was an old abandoned school in Jordanstown that had been graffitied and had broken glass all on the floor, as well as modern slang across the walls, ceilings, and floors. I believe this challenged the supernatural thriller genre, as typically this movie would have been set in an 800-year-old house with a haunted past where 20 people died in a suicide pact. Not where children used to play and have classes, which in my opinion made it a lot scarier because it attacked the viewer's sense of security. Our location looked like this. We also challenged the costume side of the forms and conventions. Conventionally, the summoners in our type of movie would be dressed in robes only, and the room might be smoke filled and they would be shrouded in mystery, whereas in our film that we produced, our summoners were out in the open right in the middle of the hall, and instead of the robes and instead of the mystery, they were in plain clothing, everyday clothing, which was only because it attacked the viewer's sense of security, in which they would see that the summoners were everyday people in their lives, and it made them feel unsecure in their everyday lives because of it. Our summoners looked a little bit like this, and what you would expect with the codes and conventions, they would look something like that. Although we seem to have a habit of challenging the forms and conventions, we also had to go with them, obviously, to fit in with the supernatural thriller genre. We deem our title sequence to be one of the best parts of the movie, mainly because of the amount of time and effort and research that went into that one part of it. Each member of our group studied 5 films, and within those films we studied the lighting, the camera angles, camera shots, mise en scène, location, and the title sequences. Within the title sequences, we realised that the title of the movie would stereotypically appear on the 4th title. And that's exactly what we did. On our 4th title, you can see the summoning appear throughout the middle of the screen in quite a different colour from the rest of the titles to make it stand out. We based our title sequence off the very famous movie The Black Swan. In The Black Swan, a girly hand is seen drawing a black outline of some sort of shape, very close in and very elegantly. Throughout the build-up of the title sequence, you can see that it gets more vicious and less elegant, and the chalk starts to break and fall apart. We tried to get that across in our own title sequence, except for we did the opposite of it. Where in The Black Swan they're holding a black chalk against a white background, we hold a white paint against a black background. As you can see, the differences here. This is a little snippet of the Black Swan opening. And this is a little snippet of our opening. Our media product represented 2 social groups, and that would be the young male and the girls. The young men would normally be between 18 to 25, and the girls would be aged anywhere between 15 to 20. They were represented through the characters within the movie. The young men were represented between the summoners, which had been the high priest, who was aged roughly between the ages of 19 to 25, and the young girl, who although was portrayed as 15, was between 17 to about 20. We felt we should target our movie towards the ages of 17 to 22. So we thought it would be best that we had a character in our movie that was around the same age so that many of the audience could get attached. We made our character look a wee bit younger to show her innocence, although her real age is around 17. This allowed viewers to put themselves in her position and feel as though they were being subjected to what was going on with the main character on screen. It also allows them to feel a tiny bit of sympathy and be able to put themselves in that position. A typical girl that we would aim our movie towards. And this is the girl that we decided to use within our movie. What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? The main institution that would consider distributing our product would be the film institution. In the realm of film institution, Lionsgate is a major company that deals with aspects of the thriller genre. As you can see here, this is what their opening looks like. We as a group used the Lionsgate opening at the start of our film as we felt that it fitted our film as a supernatural thriller. Who would be the audience for your media product? The audience would tend to be females around the age of 17 to 22. The reason being for this is that our main character is around the same age as this and of the same sex, meaning girls would associate themselves with the character more than, say, a man aged 20 plus. The reason I believe we set the movie to target these audiences is because males aged 15 plus are stereotypically into thriller movies, or movies that are set with a scary background. What have you learnt about technologies from the process of constructing this product? Since I did a lot of the editing throughout the movie as well as the camera shots and angles, I have learnt many editing techniques through the entire project. These include being able to reverse the clip from front to back, which we use in the clip in which our main character inhales smoke. How we did that was we got her to blow out smoke through an electronic cigarette, and then we reversed the clip so that it looked like it was coming back into your mouth instead of the opposite. Also, being able to change an entire scene by using different colours from the presets or making our own presets from the effects slide. I've also learned how to flip the image of a video so that it runs backwards or it runs to the opposite of what it's going to do. For example, you can see the image will flip and my hand will swap sides, as well as the entire room. I have also learned to create titles using the program Motion. Although this was not my job, I learned from watching an associate in the group do it. We had to go through this painstaking process due to our agreement in the way that our title would appear on the screen at the start of the movie. We wanted it to appear so that when the brush was coming across the screen, you could see a title appear through it. I think I can say I learned to use Final Cut in such a way that allowed me to create a professional looking movie, as the challenges that we faced in getting certain effects working pushed myself and the group to research the program in greater depth, looking up tutorials as well as asking other pupils for their advice on how to go about doing something. Looking back on your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learned from the progression from it to the full product? I believe in our swap from the preliminary task to our full task we had realised our responsibilities. Had we not done the preliminary task, I believe our main task would not have turned out as well as it did. I like to believe the preliminary taught our group a lot about timekeeping, showing how much would need to be spent on what aspect of the film. Also, it taught us who in the group was good at what. For example, Roisin O'Hare was very good at costume design as well as makeup and organisation, which included timekeeping and the schedule for the movie. Aoife was brilliant at manufacturing the titles in such a way that allowed them to appear at the brush stroked across the screen. Sarah was very talented at writing scripts and was very creative when it came to the plot, as well as allowing the plot to be easily understood by the viewers. Myself, I would say I worked well with the cameras and the editing of the movie that was helped by Aoife.